everybody, it's Tatiana, and today I have another book review, and I am reviewing Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is a young adult fantasy / dystopian novel that is the story of a teenager named Alina who has spent the majority of her life as an orphan with her fellow orphan, best friend, and secret crush, Mal. They grew up together in the same orphanage as kids, and as they become teens, they are also members of the same army regiment, and so they go through their world together until one day when they enter into this dangerous section of their world called the Fold, and they're attacked. And when they are attacked, it is discovered that Alina has a dormant power that nobody, including herself, knew about. So once that power is revealed, she is ripped away from her best friend, her partner in crime that she's been with all of her life, and the only life that she's ever really known, and is thrust into this world of living in opulence and in the presence of royalty that she's never experienced before and really doesn't know how to take. As she is brought into this new world, she is now called a Grisha, and she is under the rule of a man known and named the Darkling. And in the midst of all of this new and opulent and extravagant lifestyle that seems to be perfect, of course, it's really not. So this story, as it continues to unfold, it becomes Alina's understanding of this new life that she now has to live without the comfort and security of the one person who she had been with her entire life. The focus of this world that is created, and it's really a very interesting society and world that Leigh Bardugo has created in this book. There are so many elements that go into it and thought that went into creating it that it's not something that you can ignore. I've already said that I love adventure stories and stories that travel, but I love stories where you have a map and it shows you the world, and so you can see where they are, where they're going. The issue that permeates this society as created in this book is the area that is called the Fold, which is a dead place, dead area of land that is covered in darkness, and there are these creatures that feast on human flesh. So everything that is being done or thought about or focused on is an attempt to conquer the Fold so that it is no longer the threat to humanity. There were many things that I liked about the book. I already said that I enjoyed the sense of adventure and going on a journey. I liked how the world is created and all of the thought that went into the world. And it's somewhere between, like it's got a Russian feel, but it's somewhere between being almost modern yet not modern. Like the armies have rifles, but they also have bow and arrows and swords. So it's like in between technologies, and I really, really like that and how the two are brought together. But I also enjoyed the relationship between Alina and her best friend Mal. I could really relate to that because when I was a kid, my mom's best friend had a son who was a year younger than me, and basically we call each other brother and sister, but we have been friends, family since I was 3 and he was 2. And the camaraderie that we had, even when we got on each other's nerves, we still cared about each other, we still loved each other. And the relationship between Alina and Mal was very similar to that, except for the secret questioning. I could relate to their relationship because I could understand having that connection with someone who is not your blood, because really you feel that that's the only connection that you can really form in the situation that you are in at that time. And that connection between them is strong and it is long lasting until the point where Mal is attacked and they are basically attempting to sacrifice themselves for the safety of the other person. I could understand that, and I really enjoyed reading that aspect of their relationship. I also liked Alina's not being so naive when she comes into this new environment. Of course, you can't know everything or anticipate everything that is going to happen when you experience something new, but she does not go in 100% naive. She goes in with some very adult understandings and realizations as she makes her travel from being part of an army regiment to this Grisha lifestyle. And I liked that awakening that took place, and that she was open to understanding the differences between the two cultures. The characters were all very interesting. Even the characters that you didn't like, you still wanted to know more about. Even the ones who were mean, even the ones who were vindictive or awkward or weird, you still wanted to know more about them. And that makes all of the difference in enjoying a story. So those are the things that I liked. There isn't much that I did not like about this story. Again, this is one that's hyped up for a reason. I will say that once it reached a certain point in the story, I knew what was going to happen next. So by the time I got to this point, it was just really reading to see how the events were going to unfold, because I knew exactly what was going to happen. It's just, what led up between points 1 and 2 and points 3 and 4 to make the story what it was. Even in knowing that, I still enjoyed the book. I would give it a good 3.5, 4 stars. Because there were so many things about this story that were relatable, that were enjoyable, and it did not seem redundant. There were no lags in this book. I mean, I would read this at night and have to make myself put it down, because I would keep going and keep going and keep going, because the story was engaging. I will be continuing with this series. I don't think I'll be buying it. I'll just continue borrowing it from the library, but I really want to know what happens next. I want to know where Alina grows from the ending point in this book, and how her life has changed because she's continuing to experience things that she's never experienced before. And it's a story, again, of adventure. So I do want to know what happens next. I want to know not just what the author does with the story, but what it does, what the author's writing does to the characters in the story. I really, really want to know what happens next. That's pretty much all that I have to say about the story. So I'm going to leave it at that, and you all have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.